Hello Ohana, it's Elena from Ohana Getaways, and today I am bringing you the top 10 tips before your first Disney Cruise Line vacation. Disney Cruise Line is an amazing vacation and one of my absolute favorites, but I do think there's a learning curve. So without further ado, let's just jump right in and start with the tips. My number one tip is downloading the Navigator app. And the first thing you need to do is you need to download this app while you're at home and on your Wi-Fi. It works with Disney Cruise Line's Wi-Fi, which is free on board, but the Wi-Fi only works for the app. So you can buy a Wi-Fi package, but the free Wi-Fi is specific to the app. What this app is ahead of time before your cruise, you can book excursions, you can sort of get, a lay of the land on what Disney Cruise Line has to offer, but while you're on the ship, you can chat with friends and family that are also cruising with you, which I think is one of the most amazing features. And you can also favorite activities and see what shows are coming up, check out dining menus ahead of time. There is a wealth of knowledge on this app. The important thing to do is downloading the app before you set sail so you have it, and then once you are on the ship, turning on the DCL network Wi-Fi, and there you can start to chat with people that are on your cruise with you. So that is tip number one. Tip number two is to join a Facebook group that is specific to your cruise. So what does this do for you? So you're gonna log on to Facebook, you're gonna type in your cruise date, and you will find a group a fellow sailor has set up on Facebook. And this will not only get you started with making friends on the cruise. Maybe you find out that there are kids that are the same age as your kids, but you can also set up a lot of special events. On Disney Cruise Line, there is something that DCL guests love to do, and that is fish extenders. What is a fish extender? A brief fish extender explanation is there is a door hanger outside of your door. There's a little hook there, and people will hang something that has pockets in it, sort of like a locker organizer. And you will set up with other people that are on the cruise that you are going to drop off little gifts. So it's sort of like a secret Santa that you drop off in a locker organizer. It can be really fun. People get really into it. Usually it's you and about 9 other cabins, and you will go around and drop things off, and it could either be anonymous or, you can tell them from your friends in cabin 9168, something like that. So that is something that you set up on the Facebook group there. Another thing you can do with the Facebook group is set up ornament exchanges. We've been part of a craft beer exchange that was super fun. And people do just all kinds of things. And you can sign up for them or not sign up for them and still be a part of the group and just sort of get your questions answered if you have them, anything specific to the sailing. Sometimes people even like to put groups together when they do a beverage tasting or something like that. So a Facebook group is definitely a recommendation. Super fun. My third recommendation for you is to go to guest services straight away when you get on board if you did not get into a reservation that you wanted to get into. And what do I mean by a reservation? I mean booking things like the special dining at Palo or Remy, depending on which ship you are on. Doing things like the frozen meet and greet or a character breakfast that goes on during 7-day cruises or longer. So a lot of times when it's your first cruise, you are the last ones to book because the people that have cruised before have a higher priority in their Castaway Club membership. People that are platinum get to book all of their activities 120 days out, and you, if it's your first time cruise, you don't get to book them till 75 days out. But take heed. If you go to guest services straight away, they will direct you on where to go, or they can get it right there, a reservation for something that you might want. So that is my number 3 tip, is going to guest services before you do anything else on the ship. My number 4 tip is to purchase water ahead of time. You can log on to DisneyCruiseLine.com and scroll under the gifts and amenities and pick up some water, Dasani water, that will be already ready and waiting for you inside your stateroom. Why is this important? I think it's really nice, since there's a mini fridge in there, that you can just have water whenever you want it. Of course, you can go up on deck and grab water anytime you needed it, but it's really nice to just have a couple of bottles of water in your room. And it's really inexpensive too, and then you don't have to lug it on board with you. I believe a 6-pack of water is about $10. It's ready and waiting for you. Which brings me to my next tip, which is to bring some alcohol on board with you. This is one of my favorite tips because I utilize it most often. This tip is for adults 21 years and over, and if you like wine, you can bring 2 bottles of wine, 750 milliliters, or you can bring a 6-pack per person. And what a lot of people forget to realize is not only can you bring that on board with you when you first get on your cruise, is you can bring that on board at every port you stop at. Sans Castaway Cay, because that's Disney's own port and you can only buy souvenirs and specialty drinks there. But that is a great tip. Saves you a little bit of money while you're on there. Of course, there's bars and lounges. You can get drinks at any time, but it's nice to have something that's in your room, or maybe you want to bring a bottle of wine to dinner. There is a corking fee if you do that, but it's something nice to just have in your room if you're relaxing, especially if you have a veranda stateroom and you just kind of want to hang out on your balcony, have a drink before you go to dinner, something like that. My next tip that involves drinks is bringing your own cup to refill. On Disney Cruise Line, something that makes it really unique is the beverages are all included. On other cruise lines, you have to buy a beverage package if you would like soda included, juice included, things like that. On Disney Cruise Line, you can go to the buffet, you can go up to the main deck there and get drinks 24 hours a day, whenever you like it. But the cups are the paper cups that are teensy weensy, and maybe you want a drink that lasts more than a couple sips, you want to go somewhere else with your drink, something like that. So I recommend bringing something like a Tervis or a Yeti, or even bringing a rapid refill mug from Walt Disney World. This is a way old mug. I have a million of them. Okay, so you bring this mug with you, bring a reusable straw with you if you prefer a straw, and there you go. You can bring a cup wherever you need, and you don't have to deal with the open cup, the paper cup that's small, and you won't spill it. My next tip for you is to order room service. Room service with Disney Cruise Line is completely free. It is 24 hours a day, and it's great, if you just want a little snack, something like that. Not that there's not food all the time during your cruise, but some really cool things to order are the Mickey Premium Ice Cream Bars, which everyone that goes to Walt Disney World and Disneyland loves. Those are included in room service. Order as many as you want. Another thing to order from room service is the warm chocolate chip cookies and milk. It's a great bedtime snack, but they have a complete menu you can find in your room. My last tip for room service is if you need coffee to get you going in the morning, is to either order it the night before, and the carafe is really well insulated and it'll stay warm so you can wake up in the morning and have coffee in your room. Or if you open the desk drawer, you will find a door hanger that you can check off if you'd like coffee and milk and even some pastries, fruit, things like that. Hang it outside of your door the night before. It'll have a specific time you can check off, and room service will deliver it for you the next day, which is usually what we do. My next tip for you is to bring some clothespins. And you think, well, why do I need some clothespins? It's because you might want to hang up those wet bathing suits. And even if you have a veranda, you can put them out there because they'll go flying off into the ocean. So there is a line in the shower that you can pull across and hang up, and have some clothespins there to hang up all of your wet clothes, your towels, things like that. It comes in handy. My next tip for you is to visit the Cove Cafe. You can find the Cove Cafe near the adult pool, and this is perfect if you are a Starbucks lover, you love specialty coffee drinks, you're treating yourself. There is an extra charge for these drinks, but they are so worth it. If I can find a photo, I will insert it here of some of the designs you can get on your coffee. They are super cute. I love the Cove Cafe because, I'll be honest, I'm not a huge fan of the coffee that's served in the Disney buffet. I do like it in the restaurants, but there's something that I like, a little bit more. I like a latte, I like things like that. Also, make sure to get a stamp card while you're at the Cove Cafe. It is, I believe, buy 5 drinks, get the 6 for free, and between us, we get that on every cruise. Even if it's a short cruise, if it's a 3-day cruise, we usually end up with a free drink anyhow. Okay. My very last tip for you is to bring your own lanyard when you are setting sail on your first Disney cruise. After your first Disney cruise, you will get one of these lovely lanyards. This one says silver. This is a silver Castaway Club membership lanyard. When you move up to gold and platinum, it changes. But you don't get this until you've already set sail on one. And you put your room key down here and you can just swipe it to get into your room. It's really convenient. So when you don't have one of these, you have to dig into your wallet or your little purse, whatever you're carrying things in, and pull out your card. My tip for you is to purchase like a cheap lanyard, one of these little plastic things, and have it with you for your first cruise. That way it's super convenient for you, even though it's your first cruise and everyone else has one of these around their neck. So that wraps up my 10 tips for Disney Cruise Line. I hope it's really helpful for you, but I do have one bonus tip here, and this just applies if you are sailing on the Disney Dream or the Disney Fantasy, and that is to bring a little card like this. Now I got this one off of Etsy, but it is the size of a gift card or a credit card, or bring an old gift card with you. The reason you want to bring an extra card like this is that you have to insert your key card into a little slot to turn the lights on in your room, which is fine. That's not inconvenient, except you're going to have your key card in the lanyard like this. So you don't really want to take it out, put it in the slot, turn the lights on in your room. If you bring an old gift card or, one like this that I think costs $1 off of Etsy, you can just have it already in the slot, slide it in, turn on the lights, and when you're ready to leave your stateroom, you can just pull it up and it sits in that little stand there. But that is only on the Dream and the Fantasy. The Magic and the Wonder have a different technology there. They don't have the key slider for your lights. So that will do it for the tips for Disney Cruise Line. If you are thinking of booking any Disney destination, Disney Cruise Line, Disney World, Disneyland, Ulani in Hawaii, or Adventures by Disney, please go ahead and click my email in the description box in this video, or just send me a message and I will be happy to be your Disney expert for your next adventure. Until then, aloha!